book is crazy, and that people actually came and hear me talk about it is even crazier. So I really do want to thank you all very much for coming out tonight. It really means a lot to me personally, and I hope I won't bore you too badly talking about my book. So the way it's going to work is I have a couple comments I'd like to make just about the book, let you know what the book talks about and that sort of thing. Maybe 15 minutes or so. Not going to go on forever. And then we'll take questions. And then if you have a book or you want to buy a book, you can do that, and I'll sign whatever you'd like me to. Okay? So I want to welcome everybody here, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, parents, teachers, students, and concerned citizens. I've called you all here today to give a warning. I'm sounding the alarm, shooting off a flare, planting a red flag in the ground, right here, right now, today, in this very room. Who am I to do that? Just who do I think I am, that I can call you all from your homes and places of work to give you my thoughts and observations, all wrapped up between two covers in 34 chapters, 232 pages, and one glorious blue and white illustration? Put simply, I am a public school teacher. I am one of 3.2 million people in this country who dedicate their lives to educating the 50.7 million students in our public school system. And yes, I say public school system, not private school system, not charter school system, not voucher school system, not homeschool, not religious school, not any of dozens of ways to teach children separate and apart from other children. For I am still one of those old fools who believes that separate but equal means separate and unequal. Because I know my history, I know my pedagogy, I know my civil rights, and I know what goes on in our schools. I am one of the few people in the public debate who actually knows firsthand what our schools are all about, what happens here, what is working well, and what needs to be changed. And I am willing to actually tell you about it. Even though doing so could mean my job. Even though doing so may upset my principal. It may upset the superintendent, the school board, the legislature, the governor, the representatives, the senators, the judiciary, the pundits, the think tanks, the billionaire philanthro-capitalists, the ed tech industry, the test prep industry, the school privatization industry, the Secretary of Education, and the President. That's why I'm here tonight. I know of what I speak, and I am still willing to speak it. Are you willing to hear it? I ask because I'm going to say some things tonight that you may have never heard before. I'm going to say some things that may sound strange, may sound like lies, fake news, but they could not be more true. And the reason that I say that what I say may sound outlandish is because you've been dining for decades on a steady diet of propaganda and disinformation about our public schools. If you watch TV or read the newspaper or click on articles, updates, and videos on Facebook, you've probably been subjected to expensive spin, a careful, organized campaign to get you to believe that which isn't true, so that you'll support that which shouldn't be true. They need numb, ignorant minds in wealthy white suburbs, and tired, ignorant minds in working class neighborhoods, and beat down, ignorant minds in impoverished housing projects. They need all of us marching in unison to the beat of a drum that goes against our natural rhythm, against our natural common interest. That's how the ruling class gets us to submit to their whims, how we continue to allow ourselves to be ruled. And to do that, they need to destroy our public schools. I know that sounds dramatic, perhaps even paranoid, but it is a demonstrable fact, the result of decades of bribery and coercion, the slow drip of water on our heads. Not the American dream as you and I know it, but an American dream nonetheless. A dream of caste systems and subjugation, a dream of profit and piracy, a dream for the few at the expense of the many. The total dismantling of public schools, the backbone of this great nation, that is their goal. Why? Because they say our schools are failing. Haven't you heard that? The system doesn't work, so we have to tear it down. It's the only solution. Yet, one, it is a solution that will make things demonstrably worse. And two, it is predicated on a lie. Our public schools are not failing. Do you hear me? Our public schools are not failing. Make no mistake, despite all you've heard in the media from the mouths of your bought and sold representatives, our public schools are not failing. They have been failed. Even as I speak, they are being sabotaged and their ideals corrupted. They are being turned from a system set up with the shining revolutionary goal to free young minds into the shackles that keep us all pinned down in the muck of a classist, racist status quo. Let me be clear. Our schools are far from perfect. There is much we should change. Much I will admonish you to help us change. But the often told lie is that our system is beyond saving. It is old and backward and time for the trash bin. This is one of the biggest falsehoods in America today. Think about it. What, after all, is a public school? It is an educational institution at the heart of the community, made up of the community to meet the needs of the community. It is a system of teachers, counselors, aides, principals, and administrators dedicated to meeting the needs of every child in the district. We take all the children in our neighborhoods, regardless of their race, nationality, gender, religion, academic needs, emotional deficits. We take all the kids there are in our community, and we attempt to teach them how to function in our society. If that doesn't sound impressive, it should, because it's not the case all over the world. In many countries, they only educate the wealthy kids, or kids only up to a certain age, or only if they show aptitude, or only if they're a certain race, or only the boys, or only certain ethnic groups. We are one of the only countries in the world that guarantees every child a free and appropriate education from K through 12. I'm not saying it always works out. I'm not saying there aren't roadblocks to achieving that ideal. There are. And in many cases, they've been purposefully put in place. But you can't have equity if that isn't even your ideal. It is ours. We talk a lot about the American dream in terms of business and financial success, but we have an American educational dream too, that every child will get the same opportunities to learn. That's something we should take pride in, because it's also something the powers that be are trying to take away. So let's talk about it.